There's a silent killer in this room right now. It's not a disease. It's not a virus. It's not even a person. It's a choice. A choice that each of you makes every single day. A choice that slowly but surely destroying your potential, dismantling your dreams, and decimating your destiny. This killer is so subtle that most people never recognize it. So accepted that society celebrates it. So common that we've normalized it. It's the choice to choose easy over worthy. And today I'm going to show you why this choice is costing you everything that matters. You're dying. Yes, you right now in this moment you're dying. Not in the way you think, but in a way that's far more dangerous. You're dying by living too small. You're dying by believing the lie that if something is easy, it must be right. Look at your life right now. Really look at it. Are you excited to wake up every morning? Does your heart race with anticipation for what you're about to create? Or does it sink with the weight of another day of settling? Because if you're honest, truly honest with yourself, easy is the enemy of extraordinary. Easy is the assassin of achievements. Easy is the poison that's killing your potential, drop by comfortable drop. And the most dangerous part, you don't even realize it's happening. You become so comfortable being uncomfortable with mediocrity that you've forgotten what greatness feels like. But let me tell you something that might shake you to your core. Everything you want is on the other side of hard. Everything you dream about lives beyond the borders of easy. Everything you're destined to become exists. You see, we're living in a world that's trying to convince us that if something is difficult, we should avoid it. If something requires struggle, we should find an easier way. If something demands sacrifice, we should look for a shortcut. This mentality is not just wrong. It's destructive. But think about birth for a moment. Is it easy? No. It's painful, it's messy, it's intense. But it's necessary for new life to emerge. Think about a butterfly breaking out of its cocoon. Is it easy? No. It's a struggle, it's uncomfortable, it's challenging. But that very struggle is what makes its wings strong enough to fly. Your life follows the same principle. The things that are worth having are worth struggling for. The achievements that are worth celebrating are worth sacrificing for. The goals that are worth reaching are worth bleeding for. We started believing that struggle is a sign that we are on the wrong path. We've begun to think that difficulty means we should turn back. We've convinced ourselves that resistance means we should retreat. Nothing could be further from the truth. Struggle isn't a sign to stop. It's a sign to strengthen. Difficulty isn't a signal to retreat. It's a signal to advance. Resistance isn't telling you to give up. You want to know why most people never reach their full potential. It's not because they're not capable. It's not because they're not talented. It's not because they're not lucky. It's because they keep choosing what's easy over what's worth it. They choose the easy conversation over the difficult truth. They choose the easy job over the challenging calling. They choose the easy relationship over the meaningful connection. They choose the easy life over the significant life. Easy is expensive. Yes, you heard me right. Easy costs you your dreams. Easy costs you your destiny. Easy costs you your legacy. The price of easy is paid in the currency of regret, and the interest compounds daily. When you choose easy, you're not avoiding pain. You're just delaying it. And delayed pain is always greater pain. The pain of discipline weighs ounces, but the pain of regret weighs tons. The pain of growth is temporary, but the pain of staying the same is permanent. What dream have you abandoned because it wasn't easy? What goal have you given up on because it required too much effort? What calling have you ignored because it demanded too much sacrifice? You see, the problem isn't that you're incapable of achieving great things. The problem is that you've been programmed to retreat at the first sign of difficulty. You've been conditioned to back down when things get hard. You've been trained to look for the easy way out instead of the worthwhile way through. The moment you start pursuing something worthwhile, something interesting happens. Opposition rises. Obstacles appear. They interpret these difficulties as signs that they're on the wrong path. When in reality, these are signs that they're finally on the right path. You see, meaningless goals don't attract opposition. Empty pursuits don't face resistance. If what you're doing doesn't attract any difficulties, it might be time to question if it's worth doing at all. The size of your challenges often reveals the size of your calling. Let's talk about something that might make you uncomfortable. Your comfort zone, that space where everything is familiar, predictable, and safe. That space where dreams go to die, where potential goes to sleep, and where greatness goes to rest. Your comfort zone is not your friend. It's your prison. The problem with your comfort zone is that it's not really comfortable. It's just familiar. And you've mistaken familiarity for comfort. You've confused routine with fulfillment. You've replaced purpose with predictability. And in doing so, you've traded your destiny for security. Think about water for a moment. When water stays stagnant, it becomes toxic. It breeds bacteria. It develops algae. It starts to stink. But when water moves, when it flows, when it grows, when it crashes against rocks and falls over cliffs, it stays fresh, pure, and life-giving. Your life follows the same principle. Easy path leads to stagnation. The comfortable route leads to deterioration. The safe way leads to degradation. But the challenging path, that's where character forms. Let me tell you something that might change your perspective for that. The thing you're most afraid of doing is probably the very thing you need to do. The conversation you're avoiding is probably the one you need to have. But the decision you're postponing is probably the one you need to make. But here's where it's interesting. The hard path isn't hard because you're not capable. It's hard because it's designed to make you capable. The difficult road isn't difficult because you're weak. It's difficult because it's meant to make you strong. The challenging journey isn't challenging because you're inadequate. It's challenging because it's meant to make you exceptional. You see, we've got it all backward. We keep waiting to feel ready before we take action. We keep waiting to feel confident before we take risks. We keep waiting to feel certain before we make moves. But that's not how life is. Readiness comes through action. Confidence comes through risk. Certainty comes through movement. The world doesn't reward people who wait until everything is perfect. The world doesn't celebrate those who only act when it's easy. The world doesn't remember those who only move when it's comfortable. The world rewards, celebrates, and remembers those who act in spite of imperfection, who move despite difficulty, who advance regardless of discomfort. This isn't about being reckless. This isn't about being foolish. This isn't about being careless. This is about being courageous. This is about being consistent in pursuing what matters, even when, especially when, you see, easy is a lie. Easy tells you that you can have success without sacrifice. Easy whispers that you can have achievement without effort. Easy suggests that you can have greatness without growth. But deep down, you know better. Deep down, you know that anything worth having comes with a price tag of perseverance. Think about your muscles. They don't grow when you're comfortable. They grow when you put them under stress. When you push them past their comfort zone, when you force them to adapt to new challenges. Your character, your capabilities, your courage. They grow the same way. The question isn't whether you're capable of doing hard things. The question is whether you're willing to do hard things. Because capability without willingness is like having a high-performance car with no fuel. All potential, no power. You know what's fascinating? The people who achieve the most are often not the most talented. not the most gifted, not the most privileged. They're the ones who are willing to do what others won't. They're the ones who are willing to persist when others quit. Let me tell you about the most dangerous word in your vocabulary. It's not failure. It's not impossible. It's not even count. The most dangerous word in your vocabulary is easy. Because when you fall in love with easy, you fall out of love with your potential. Every time you choose easy over worth it, a part of your spirit damns. Every time you opt for comfortable over meaningful, a piece of your purpose fades. Every time you select convenient over consequential, an element of your destiny dies. And the most tragic part, it happens so gradually that you hardly notice it. You're not just losing opportunities when you choose easy. You're losing yourself. You're not just missing chances. You're missing your calling. You're not just avoiding difficulty. You're avoiding destiny. The real tragedy isn't that you fail. It's that you settle for less than what you're capable of becoming. Think about the heroes you admired, the leaders you respect, the achievers you look up to. Did they choose easy? Did they select comfortable? Did they opt for convenience? They selected meaningful over comfortable. They opted for significant over convenient. It's what most people don't understand about difficulties. It's not your enemy. It's your ally. Difficulty isn't trying to stop you. It's trying to strengthen you. Challenges aren't trying to break you. Opposition isn't trying to defeat you. It's trying to develop you. When you face something difficult, your first instinct might be to retreat, to back down, to look for an easier way. But what if that difficulty is actually an invitation to grow, to learn, to become more than you are right now? You see, life's greatest opportunities often come disguised as its biggest challenges. Its most precious gifts often come wrapped in its toughest problems. Its most valuable lessons often come packaged in its hardest experiences. The difficulty isn't in what you're facing. It's in what you're avoiding. The challenge isn't in what you're doing. It's in what you're not doing. The opposition isn't in what you're confronting. It's in what you're running from. I'll ask you something that might make you uncomfortable. What worthy challenge are you avoiding right now? Because it's not easy. What meaningful goal have you abandoned because it's not comfortable? What significant dream have you surrendered because it's not convenient? You see, the easy path is crowded. Everyone's on it. Everyone's looking for shortcuts, searching for hacks, hunting for the path of least resistance. But here's what they don't realize. The easy path might be smooth, but it leads nowhere worth going. The comfortable route might be pleasant, but it arrives nowhere worth being. The convenient way might be painless, but it ends nowhere worth reaching. Think about gold for a moment. How is it refined? Through fire, through heat, through pressure. The very elements that seem to be destroying it are actually purifying it, revealing its true value, bringing forth its hidden beauty. Your life follows the same principle. The difficulties you face aren't destroying you. They're developing you. The challenges you encounter aren't defeating you. They're defining you. The opposition you experience isn't breaking you. But only if you stay in the process. Only if you endure the refinement. Only if you embrace the difficulty. You know what's interesting? The things that are truly worth it in life are never easy. Love isn't easy, but it's worth it. Growth isn't easy, but it's worth it. Change isn't easy, but it's worth it. Excellence isn't easy, but it's worth it. Here's where many people get stuck. They keep waiting for things to get easier. They keep hoping for challenges to disappear. They keep expecting obstacles to vanish. But that's not how growth works. Things don't get easier. You get stronger. Challenges don't disappear. You get better. Obstacles don't vanish. The real question isn't whether you can handle difficulty. You can. The real question is whether you're willing to embrace difficulty as the price of progress. Because everything worthwhile has a price, and that price is often paid in the currency of difficulty. The world doesn't reward those who run from challenges. It rewards those who run toward them. The world doesn't celebrate those who avoid difficulty. It celebrates those who embrace it. The world doesn't remember those who chose easy. It remembers those who chose worthy. And this truth, this fundamental principle, is written in the fabric of every great achievement humanity has ever witnessed. But let me tell you something about worthiness that might change your perspective. Worthy things aren't just difficult. They're transformative. They don't just challenge you. They change you. They don't just test you. They transform you. Every worthy pursuit leaves an indelible mark on your character, reshaping not just what you can do, but who you become in the process. When you pursue something worthy, something remarkable happens. You become worthy of it. When you chase something significant, you become significant. When you pursue something extraordinary, the pursuit itself transforms you. This isn't just poetry. It's the fundamental law of personal growth and human development. This transformation doesn't happen on the easy path. It doesn't occur in the comfort zone. It doesn't manifest in the land of convenience. It happens in the valley of difficulty, in the mountain of challenges, in the ocean of opposition. The very elements that most people avoid are the exact ingredients needed for transformation. You see, every time you choose the difficult but worthy path over the easy but empty one, you're making a declaration. You're declaring that your growth is more important than your comfort. You're stating that your development is more valuable than your convenience. You're asserting that your transformation is more precious than your ease. These declarations aren't just words, they're commitments that reshape your destiny. Think about a diamond. It doesn't start out beautiful and valuable. It begins as a lump of coal that undergoes immense pressure and heat. The very forces that seem to be crushing it are actually creating its value. The very pressures that appear to be destroying it are actually developing its beauty. This isn't just a metaphor. It's a perfect parallel to human potential and personal transformation. Your journey follows the same principle. The pressures you face aren't punishments. They're privileges. The challenges you encounter aren't curses. They're catalysts. The difficulties you experience aren't deterrents. Every obstacle, every setback, every moment of resistance is actually a building block of your future strength. They see difficulty as a sign to stop when it's actually a sign to strengthen. They interpret challenges as signals to retreat when they're actually signals to advance. They read opposition as a message to quit when it's actually a message to persist. This misinterpretation of difficulty is perhaps the greatest tragedy in human potential. Let me ask you something that might shake you to your core. What if the very thing you're avoiding is the very thing that could transform you? What if the very challenge you're running from is the very catalyst you need? What if the very difficulty you're escaping is the very developer you require? These aren't just rhetorical questions. They're invitations to reimagine your relationship with difficulty. You see, easy choices make for hard lives. Hard choices make for easy lives. This isn't just a clever saying. It's a fundamental truth about human development and achievement. Every time you choose easy over worthy, you're choosing a harder future. Every time you select comfortable over meaningful, you're selecting a more challenging destiny. Every time you opt for convenient over significant, you're opting for a more difficult legacy. The price of avoiding difficulty today is paying with interest tomorrow. The cost of choosing easy now is choosing hard later. The expense of selecting comfortable in the present is selecting uncomfortable in the future. This is the compound interest of personal development. It works either for you or against you, but it never stops accumulating. But here's the beautiful truth that most people never discover. You're stronger than you think. You're more capable than you believe. You're more resilient than you realize. The only thing standing between you and your transformation is your addiction to easy. Your potential isn't limited by your capabilities. It's limited by your willingness to embrace difficulty. Think about this. Every major breakthrough in human history came through difficulty. Every significant achievement emerged from challenges. Every remarkable accomplishment arose from opposition. Nothing worthy ever came from easy. This isn't just historical observation. It's a blueprint. Your potential is waiting on the other side of difficulty. Your purpose is waiting beyond comfortable. Your destiny is waiting past convenient. But you have to be willing to go there. You have to be willing to endure there. You have to be willing to persist. The path to extraordinary is paved with difficulty. And there are no shortcuts. Because here's what happens when you choose worthy over easy. You don't just achieve something. You become someone. You don't just accomplish a goal. You develop character. You don't just reach a destination. The journey of choosing worthy over easy is as much about becoming as it is about achieving. The difficulty you're facing right now is your enemy. It's your ally. The challenge you're encountering isn't your opponent. It's your opportunity. The opposition you're experiencing isn't your adversary. But only if you embrace it. Only if you engage with it. Only if you endure through it. This is where true growth happens. In the space between what's easy and what's worthy. This is where transformation occurs. In the gap between what's comfortable and what's meaningful. This is where character is forged. In the distance between what's convenient and what's significant. You see, the path of least resistance leads to the life of least fulfillment. The easy road leads to a destination that's not worth reaching. The comfortable journey leads to an arrival that's not worth celebrating. But the worthy path that leads to a life of meaning, purpose. Right now, in this moment, you stand at a crossroads. One path leads to easy, comfortable, predictable, and ultimately unfulfilling. The other path leads to worthy, challenging, transformative, and deeply satisfying. The choice you make today, in this moment, will echo through the corridors of your future, shaping not just what you achieve, but who you become. Understand the decision to choose worthy over easy isn't a one-time choice. It's a decision you must make every single day, sometimes every single hour, occasionally every single minute. It's in these small, seemingly insignificant moments that your destiny is shaped. Each choice, each decision, each moment of choosing worthy over easy builds upon the last, creating a foundation of character and capability that nothing can shake. When you feel like giving up because the path is too difficult, remember, difficulty isn't trying to break you. It's trying to make you. When you want to quit because the challenge seems too great, remember this. The challenge isn't trying to stop you. It's trying to strengthen you. When you're tempted to turn back because the opposition feels too strong, remember, the opposition isn't trying to defeat you. It's trying to develop you. These aren't just motivational phrases, they're fundamental truths about human development and personal growth. You see, life has a peculiar way of testing our commitment to what we say we want. It presents us with difficulties not to discourage us, but to determine us. It confronts us with challenges not to deter us. It poses us not to stop us, but to strengthen us. This isn't random. It's the very mechanism by which we grow, develop, and the truth, everything. You want lies on the other side of difficult. Everything you dream about exists beyond the borders of easy. Everything you're destined to become lives outside the walls of comfortable. But difficulty isn't the problem. Your resistance to it is. Your relationship with difficulty determines your relationship with success. Stop asking for the easier life. Start asking for greater strength. Stop praying for fewer problems. Start praying for more wisdom. Stop seeking for smoother paths. Start seeking for stronger feet. Because life will never become easier. You must become stronger. This is a fundamental shift in mindset that separates those who achieve from those who merely dream. Your future self is watching you right now. That version of you that has achieved what you dream of, that has become what you aspire to be, that has created what you imagine, that version of you is watching. You're asking one question. Will you choose worthy over easy? Will you make the decisions today that will create the tomorrow they're living in? Because here's what happens when you consistently choose worthy over easy. You develop a strength that can't be given, only earned. You build a resilience that can't be bought, only built. You create a character that can't be inherited, only forged. These qualities become the foundation of every future success, every meaningful achievement, every significant pact you make. The path of worthy isn't just about what you achieve. It's about who you become. It's not just about the goals you reach. It's about the person you develop into. It's not just about the success you attain. It's about the character you build. This transformation is the real reward of choosing worthy over easy. Remember this. The easy path will present itself every day, multiple times a day. It will come disguised as reasonable compromises, practical shortcuts, and sensible alternatives. It will whisper promises of comfort and convenience. But each time you choose easy over worthy, you're not just choosing a path. You're choosing a destination. You're not just making a decision. The quality of your life will be determined by the quality of your choices. The magnitude of your impact will be determined by the magnitude of your courage. The level of your success will be determined by the level of your commitment to choosing worthy over easy. These aren't just correlations. They're causations. Your life is too precious to waste on easy. Your potential is too valuable to sacrifice for comfortable. Your destiny is too significant to surrender for convenience. The world needs what only you can bring, but you can only bring it by choosing the worthy path. This isn't just about you. It's about the impact you're meant to have on the world. So let this be the moment. Let this be the day. Let this be the time when you decide once and for all that you will no longer be seduced by easy. You will no longer be satisfied with comfortable. You will no longer be content with convenience. This decision, made with full awareness and complete commitment, from this moment forward, commit to choosing worthy over easy, meaningful over comfortable, significant over convenient. Not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. Not because it's comfortable, but because it's transformative. Not because it's convenient, but because it's destiny defining. This commitment, renewed daily, will become the compass that guides every decision you make. The path ahead won't be easy, but it'll be worth it. The journey won't be comfortable, but it will be meaningful. The road won't be convenient, but it will be significant. And in the end, that's what matters. That's what creates a life worth living, a story worth telling, a legacy worth leaving. Because one day, you will look back on your life. And in that moment, you won't regret the difficulties you faced. You won't regret the challenges you encountered. You won't regret the opposition you experienced. You will only regret the times you chose easy over worthy. This perspective should inform every choice you make today. So rise up, step up, level up, choose worthy over easy, choose meaningful over comfortable, choose significant over convenient. Because in the end, the easy path leads nowhere worth going. This is your moment to decide which path you'll take. Your time is now. Your moment is here. Your destiny awaits. Will you choose worthy over easy? The answer to that question will determine everything that follows. Choose wisely. Choose worthy. In that choice lies the seed of every future triumph, every meaningful achievement, every significant impact. Future belongs to those who choose worthy over easy. The impact belongs to those who choose meaningful over comfortable. The legacy belongs to those who choose significant over convenient. And that future, that impact, that legacy, it can be yours. But only if you're willing to make the choice, again and again, to pursue what's worthy over what's easy. The choice is yours. The time is now. The path is clear. Choose worthy. Always choose worthy. Because in the end, you become what you consistently choose. And a life of choosing worthy creates a legacy of significance that echoes through generations.